Plumber 7251 introductory video. This is a backflow preventer, which is very important. It protects the portable water that we drink. It makes sure that none of the chemicals that are on one side of the water side doesn't get into the drinking water. So plumbers are on top of these things, and we're very lucky to have them to do this. Plumbers install, repair, and maintain pipes and other plumbing equipment used for water distribution and waste water disposal in residential, commercial, and industrial buildings. Identify hot water boiler concerns by performing diagnostic procedures with testing equipment. Install, repair, and maintain domestic, commercial, and industrial plumbing fixtures and systems. Here's fixtures and appliances and all their different pipings along with gauges. Quite interesting. And making sure pressures stay on top is very important. We know what scalding showers are like. Plumbers provide work and cost estimates to the customer and provide installation and maintenance services for water treatment systems. Are problem solvers that have good customer communication and critical thinking skills in order to perform the diagnostics of drainage problems. Here's an example here of a water treatment plant, and of course there is a tremendous amount of water that has to be drained out, so the drainage has to work very good. And same thing with what's going into the tanks. So the piping has to be done right. It has to be also able to take the pressures. So plumbers are on top of a lot of different facets. Plumbers install all water supply and drainage needs for clothes washers, dishwashers, refrigerators, and electric or gas hot water heaters. Test pipes for leaks using air and water pressure gauges. Employed in maintenance departments of factories, plants, and similar establishments by plumbing contractors or are self-employed. Here's an example here of a gauge being replaced in a pressure test system. Now, the most important thing about a pressure test gauge is that it's always tested with a known source before use. This one was found to be defective, and as such is being replaced. Plumbers locate and mark positions for pipe connections, passage holes, and fixtures in walls and floors. Cut openings in walls and floors to accommodate pipes and pipe fittings. Measure, cut, bend, and thread pipes using hand and power tools or machines. Here's an example here of a termination point, and it's just amazing how much that piping had to go through walls and floors and ceilings, roofs. Just the amount of piping that has to be put in a house to have the accommodations is incredible. Nice work, boys. Plumbers join pipes using couplings, clamps, screws, bolts, cement, or soldering, brazing, and welding equipment. Physical considerations of the work include bending, kneeling, and moving large fixtures. Safety procedures are followed to prevent physical injury due to electric shock, cuts, burns, and muscle strains. Here's an example here of a heat source, a hot work, and the environment around and also the people have to be protected when doing this work. Plumbers, note to self, the most important essential skills are document use, oral communication, and writing skills. Here's an example of all three. Of course, we've got the code. That's a document. It's very important. And we've got the tablet. That's where we write all our work orders in. And of course, we always discuss all of the requirements before we start work. Plumbers, document use. Read blueprints, drawings, and specifications to determine layout of plumbing system, water supply network, and waste and drainage systems. To read and comprehend operating instructions and safety warnings. To read and interpret customer problems with an operation of fixtures and previous repair document use. Here's an example, like I was saying, about the code books. Very important to be on top of those. That's how the job is done right. So this one, the Canadian Plumbing Code, and then its little brother there is the Venting Systems for Plumbing, the National Edition. Plumbers, oral communication to customers about service concerns and repairs to be performed, promoting good customer relations. Speaking with supervisors regarding work schedules, normal work practices, and any unusual occurrences such as unresolved customer complaints. Exchanging information with co-workers and manufacturers' representatives. Here's an example here, like I was saying. Always good to have communication, whether we're discussing the job or whether we're discussing any other aspect of the job. The big thing is we all want to be able to go home after work safely. Plumbers, writing skills to prepare work orders, invoices, and to document work. To keep personal logbooks on the details and status of tasks performed on occasion. Write emails to part shippers, suppliers, and piping manufacturers to confirm orders or request information. There's the old system there. It looks like an old terminal or something. While now we have tablets where you would enter in all your information from what the work you're going to do, how you're going to do it, where you're going to get the parts. You can find that. It's amazing how technology has changed, but all to our advantage, because we know that it's very easy to be able to find sourcing for parts than it was before. Hope you had a better idea of the plumber world now. Any questions can be directed to me, Guy La Rochelle, the pre-apprenticeship facilitator. This presentation is for educational purposes only.